Hey guys, Rich here, this is Brickscene. Look, I feel like we've been waiting for ages for this one, but it's finally here and we've got our hands on it. It's the Razor Crest. Hey, so big thanks for checking this out. Look, if you like this sort of content, please consider subscribing, hit that button below. Set number 75292, the Razor Crest. Or as depending on when you're watching this, it might be called the Mandalorian Bounty Hunter Transport. Now I'm not too sure what's going on there. Something with the name, something with some copyright thing, last minute name change. We've got a box that says the Razor Crest on it. We know the ship as the Razor Crest, so that's what we're going to call it. Now it's 1,023 pieces, 10 plus is the age on it. $129.99 US dollars, 119.99 Great British pounds, or 219.99 New Zealand dollars. What we'll do is a quick unboxing, speed build, and then we're going to get into the review. Okay, so let's have a look at the box. It's obviously 10 plus, set number 75292. So we come over to the back, a few pictures just showing the play features, how it opens up, showing the minifigs, obviously the secret code, signage there. Apparently there's some secret code in the instructions there for the game coming up. We'll have a look at that when we get into it. But let's open it up anyway and see what we've got inside. So, what do we got? Just love it when they come like that. So we've got instruction manual and sticker sheet. There's a few detailing, sort of a few detail stickers on there. Nothing too major. Couple of stickers there representing the couple of fugitives that have been carbon frozen. Yep. Got a decent sized instruction book. So how many bags have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it looks like we're doing it in 6 stages. Plus we have this new canopy piece as well. So here we go, the finished model. Now look, the overall shape, it's an iconic looking ship, so they've managed to get that shape right. You know, it's taken obviously quite a few different pieces and going in a few different angles to get it, but it's a great looking thing. Look at the size of those big engines on the side there, the slight angle of the panels around the sides, and of course that big front end, the nose there with the canopy coming up on that funny angle on the top as well. I really like how they've put this together. Same with this back end, again, you know, it's got all these sort of different angles going on. It's really well put together. It's a solid ship as well. You know, when you're putting this thing together, you'll see when I open it up that there's a lot of technique going on the inside of it, so it's a very solid thing. The engines are quite light, despite how they look. They look quite big on the sides there, but they're actually quite light. No, I actually think it looks pretty good from any angle. It might be a little bit thin sort of coming up towards the back here, but I think that's, you know, that looks quite good. The only part I'm probably not too happy with that you can sort of see straight away is this little area around the back of the engines there. I think that probably could have been done a little bit better, but I'm not too concerned about that given the rest of the quality of the rest of the model. So the build itself, look, it wasn't a difficult build. It threw up a couple of little challenges, you know, getting a couple of little Technic pins to sit into the beams. You know, nothing major. It certainly wasn't difficult. There was a couple of repetitive steps, putting on these slope pieces on the side of the engine, and of course down the side there. That's, you know, quite repetitive putting those pieces on, but nothing too bad. I mean, of course it's symmetrical, so you're doing one side and then the other with most of the parts. There's a few stickers there, like we saw on the sticker sheet, but I think they're quite necessary. They're to do the markings on the side of the ship there. Inside there's a couple of stickers, just, you know, a couple of details. Nothing major. I'm certainly not too worried about the stickers. Of course there's the detail around the side of the engines there as well. I'm not concerned about the amount of stickers they have on there. Notably, the new canopy piece, those are not stickers on there. That is completely printed. So I guess if you're thinking about using that new canopy piece for anything else, yeah, bear that in mind at the moment, that those are not stickers. That is actually all printed. So let's go through some of the play features on this. On the top here you have like an escape pod of some description there. That just comes off, and this piece comes off as well, so you can get a figure in there. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Just sits in there. So the back hatch opens as well as it does on the proper ship. So that opens up like that, and of course you've got the access on the sides as well, like on the proper ship. So look, you can have it like that, so it's all accessible like it is in the TV show itself. However, LEGO have been quite clever with this, and you can basically open up the whole side of the ship, which is pretty cool. So you can open it up all the way around and access everything inside. So inside this front section here, you've got the Mandalorian's bed. Again, I was talking about some of those sticker details on the inside there. Just a couple of sort of detail pieces next to that bed. Nothing too major. And coming through into the back here, you've got the rack with those carbon frozen inmates, or those carbon frozen bounties, if you like. Pretty cool. I'm glad they haven't used those regular Han Solo style carbon frozen individuals. I'm glad they've used these pieces with the stickers, because you've got a couple of different ones in there. We'll look at those along with the minifigs. So coming around, you can see there's just a lot of open space in here. So this hatch here opens up at the front, so it's got some clips in there, so you can store your spare flick fire missiles in there. So here's that new canopy piece up the top here. Look, what you do is you actually have to lift the canopy off to get into there. What you've got is a couple of seats and that simple printed control panel piece there. Nothing else really. And the back piece just flicks open, and you've got a couple of clips in there just to store weight. It's just a really great model. I really like the way they've done these engines at the front here as well. The design with those. They sort of look like they might fall apart quite easy, but no, they're on there pretty solid. They're not going anywhere. So the good points, or the parts that I really like about it, I'm loving all the different angles that they've managed to get on this thing. I'm sure it's not the easiest of ships to design given all the various angles. What they've come up with is an exceptionally solid model. You know, you can guess that right from the beginning as you're building it. Things are going together, and it's solid. It's a solid structure in there, and I guess it has to be given that they want it to open up like that for all the different play features in there. I like the design of the engines. I like that they're quite light, yet you've got quite a bit going on there when you're building them. But other than that, it's a great looking model. The shape is brilliant. You know, the build is really enjoyable. It took me about maybe an hour and 3/4, nearly 2 hours to build, but I really enjoyed every part of it. It was, yeah, it wasn't exceptionally difficult, but there was a few areas that sort of required a little bit of you know, pushing things together with, you know, Technic pins and sort of lining things up and things like that. But you know, that was in order to build a really solid structure. So I've been looking around the ship to see if there's any other new pieces other than that canopy piece at the front. There's the rear section of that canopy is not necessarily a new piece. I've seen it on the Rexcelsior, I think it was, but I haven't seen it in that light blue grey before. So that may be a piece that is popular with MOCs later on. I'm not too sure, but other than that, all the pieces in here look like fairly regular sort of pieces that you do see in other sets. And here is our two unlucky individuals that have been caught by the Mandalorian and encased in carbonite, of course. There's just a couple of stickers on those 1x2x5 tall blocks. Yeah, fairly simple, but like I said earlier, I'm glad that we've got stickered pieces on here rather than the you know, those Han Solo style ones, just something a bit different. Okay, so let's get into the minifigs. First up is the Mandalorian. It's exactly the same as the Mandalorian as we got with the ATST Raider, so don't get too excited there. We're not getting anything new. Same printed torso, same printed legs. It's the same black head as well, and the same printing on the back of that torso. And his weapon is exactly the same as well. We're using that short blaster and the brown piece, and that, of course, the clip piece on the end there. So next up we have Greef Karga. Now he comes with a printed torso, just plain legs, no print on the legs there, but the torso is quite a nice printing. He gets a dual-sided head, so he's got his unhappy face there. And of course we've got the back of the head there with that smirky sort of smile with his that printing on the back of the torso there to mimic that cloak that he wears. And he comes with 2 of those short blasters as well. Next up we have IG-11. IG-11 is exactly the same as the IG-88 that we have received recently with the Betrayal at Cloud City. I think was probably the last one. So IG-11 comes with 2 weapons, that medium-sized blaster and like a longer rifle-style blaster on the back. Next up we've got our Scout Trooper. I really like this design of the Scout Trooper with that printing going right down through into the legs with the black arms there. A really cool looking helmet with the printing on the front there as well. Nice little Scout Trooper. You only get one unfortunately, but that's cool. Now taking the helmet off, we have another variation to the Angry Clone head. This is not the same clone head that we got with the 501st Battle Pack recently, so they're changing things up obviously. This is, yeah, I'm happy enough with this head. It's different to the old Angry Clone that we got with every Stormtrooper and Clone Trooper, so no, happy with that. And there's the printing on the back. There's no printing on the back of the head. And there he is with his helmet on there, so you can see the back of that helmet. He's just coming with a short blaster as well. Got a few short blasters in this one. 4 all up, I think. And last but not least, we've got the child, using that regular mold that they use for the baby minifigs, of course with a brand new mold for the head there. A little bit of printing on the front, obviously in a mixture of that sand green and tan colours. No printing on the back at all. That headpiece is kind of rubbery, so the ears are not too solid, not too sharp. Little rubbery sort of headpiece, kind of like the Yodas, the normal Yodas actually. But definitely a cool little minifig, and one that the collectors are going to be after for sure. So before we get into the conclusion, something I completely failed to mention. Of course this thing has these silly red flick fire missile things. You just hit those and shoot them off like that. That was probably the major play feature that I failed to mention. But there you go. So in conclusion, I am super happy with what they have come up with. I love the look of the ship. I'm a big fan of the ship from the show, of course. I think it's an iconic ship. I think it's going to be up there with X-Wings and Falcons and TIE Fighters and those sorts of things. Lego have done a great job in coming up with a model that's a good size. So unlike that Night Buzzard that I did a review on last time out, which was an awful size that you couldn't even get any minifigs in. This one is a really, really good size. It is sturdy, it has great access into it, so some great play features, great minifigs. There's nothing wrong with it at all. Like I pointed out during the review, I think my only gripe is literally that little bit on there, but I'm happy with this. I'm super happy with this. Definitely an iconic ship, and I think that these are going to fly off the shelves, especially at that sort of price. That's pretty good money, but I think you're getting a lot of Lego for that money. You're getting a really cool model and some great minifigs, and of course the very first version of the child, which we've all been waiting for as far as minifigs go. I think it's well worth it. So look, hey, thanks for checking this out. Really appreciate it. If you do enjoy this, like I said earlier, please consider subscribing. It helps the channel out. Thank you very much. We will see you on the next one.